Thumbs up, keep it going, keep it going. Keep it going. I'm here. Give me some chips. So I see y'all looking at me funny. Before I get started with my shit, I would like to clarify something. I know y'all see the suits. I am not a fucking limo driver, man. I will not take your ass no goddamn where. Take your ass to the wrong hood, drop you off. Shit. So I'm originally from Chicago, man. I'm originally from Chicago. And there I was raised by old people. Shit is traumatic. Because if you know anything about old people, you know they about to die pretty soon. They really don't give a shit. They say whatever the fuck is on their mind. They're like brutally honest. You know, for example, my grandmother, you know, I'm a kid, I'm going in the kitchen, I'm trying to get something to eat. I see some cookies, I reach for them, she's like, don't put your dick hands on that goddamn cookie plate. And then touching yourself, rubbing yourself, playing with yourself, you don't put your dick hands on the goddamn cookie plate. But we gonna eat some dicky cookies? What's wrong with you? Come in this kitchen without my authorization? Bring me some water. And don't put no ice in it. But you put your dick hands on that goddamn ice, I take that drink, I put it to my lips, it's like I got your dick on my lips. That's the last thing I need, a little baby dick on my lips. Brutal, man, brutal. I could not stand my grandmother growing up, man. I could not stand her. Because she had like no empathy for us as kids. Like she couldn't relate to us. You know, we're trying to have like a good Saturday morning, all of a sudden she walk in the room. What the hell is going on here? Look at this shit all over the goddamn place. Some drawers over there, some sock over there, some handprint on the wall, there's clothes up under the bed. Is that somebody up under that goddamn bed? The bed is fucked up. Everything, you're disgusting. You're filthy. You're disgusting. Clean this shit. And wash your ass. I can smell you from around the corner. And I couldn't take it no more, man. I couldn't take it. So I said some shit under my breath. I said, I can't stand this bitch. I cannot wait till she dies. And my two older brothers moved away from me like, shit. And you know a 175-year-old woman shouldn't be able to hear some shit that you saying under your breath. So you thought you said under your breath. And I all of a sudden got this impending feeling of danger. And I froze, right? You know, I froze like, oh shit. And out the corner of my eye, I could see her coming with that Aunt Jemima wrap and that moo-moo with the buttons down the center. And her little tiny black fist was balled up. And then I woke up looking at my grandfather. Ooh, God! I ready to knock your ass out like Joe Louis. You want to go to Thrifty and get some ice cream? Because see, back then, that's what they used to avoid the child abuse charges and shit. They were smart. Totally different thing, right? My grandfather is the type of dude, you know, like I said earlier, he said what the hell he want when he want to say it. He embarrassed the shit out of you in every social situation. So when I first started bringing girls home, you know what I mean? I brought this girl home, this chocolate girl, taller than me, beautiful girl. All of a sudden she walked in the house and I was like, ooh, God! I done brought home a stallion! I done brought Black Beauty up in here. Who got this should give you a taste? Like, Grandpa, she's standing right there. That shit ain't good. You can't just do like that. Well, you know I'm old. You can't be bringing no surprises up in here, especially about no chocolatey ass or nothing. I can't handle it. And you know, and then I started having my own kids. I grew up having my own kids. Just so you understand, I have 3 kids between the ages of 10 and 11. This is the math section right here. You understand how fucked up that shit is. But my grandfather was more excited about it than I was, because my kids was all born in a period of 9.5 months. Right? So he just went out, woo! God! You must have been tearing something up, guy. You must must have been knocking the back out of that thing. Look at that. And nobody got that many goddamn kids that quick unless they getting freaky in the bedroom, guy. What you doing up in there? What you doing? You slapping something? You pulling something? You got whips? You got chains? Grandpa, chill. That's my wife you talking about. We got to be respectful. Respectful? You wasn't being respectful when you was up in there. You was being disrespectful. You was beating it up, beating it up, beating it up. My grandma come in. Oh, see, y'all thought I was crazy when I was talking about him and them damn dicky hands. Now you had them kids every goddamn 5.5 months, and now you want to say something wrong with it. You're fucking like a rabbit. That's what he's doing. You know what you need to do? You need to let that girl rest. You need to get up off of her. She's exhausted. She needs sleep. Look at her. Her eyes look like boiled eggs with ketchup on her. Look at this girl. You can't just be poking and humping and humping and poking and screwing on this girl like that. You're gonna make her go into depression. But because I was raised by these people, right? Because I was raised by them, I'm fucked up, right? I'm married. And I have problems. I have marital issues because I'm immature. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to deal with certain things. I have a tendency to fuck things up. Like, every so often, just to maintain the balance of power in the household, I like to come home drunk. But I'm immature, so I can't be honest about this shit, right? So I come home and I try to hide it, like I put my hand in my pocket. That's I always had a suit on and shit, right? So I come in the house and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And the pocket protects me and shit. But drunk prevails. You can't hide drunk. You can't. You can last to about like 1.5 questions, huh? You come in your kid, hey Dad, did you have a good time at work? Yes, I did. What? Did you get the mail? Because I'm trying to pay the bill. Did you get the mail? Did you get the mail? I just got it. Busted. Right? And my wife was pissed. But you know, my thought process about this is, all right, I didn't get a DUI, and I made it home, and I parked the truck in the correct parking space. I deserve to drink some more. And you could be accused of things that you allegedly said or did when you was drunk, and you won't remember the shit the next day, right? Because she said at some point during the conversation, during the argument, I called her retarded. That didn't sound like me. Then she said that I said some shit like, I'm a grown-ass man, I can do what the fuck I want. You can't tell me what to do. I do what the fuck I want to do. Now that sounds like some shit that I would say. But fellas, if you're going to say something like that to your wife, just understand one thing. Make sure you know how to fucking cook. Cause them goddamn top ramens and them bowls of cereal get old in the mud real quick. Your kids be eating steak and shit, right? Kid like, Daddy, this steak show is good. Fuck you, kids. Fuck you. I got steak flavored top ramen, goddammit. Fuck you. I have one rule as a man, one rule. I don't care what the hell happened. I don't care if I burn the goddamn house down. I am not sleeping on the goddamn couch. Ain't no men in here, I guess it's just me. I ain't sleeping on that shit, man. First of all, the couch is leather. In the middle of the night, that shit is either freezing cold when you wake up, or if it's hot, you sweat so much your ass wake up stuck to that shit. Fuck that. But I didn't say that it was comfortable sleeping in the bed with your wife when you fight. Because you know how they give you that cold shoulder? That shit is like sleeping in a fucking coffin. You be trying to touch him and she be like, hey, baby, no, do not touch this. No. Don't touch none of this. I'm gonna stay on your side. Well, baby, I love you. You should have thought about that shit before you was talking all the goddamn shit you did. Oh, man. One of my sons is a freak. Pedigree is fucked up. You know how it works, right? The freak. You know how we found out, right? You know how, like, you give your kid a flashlight for a camping trip? We gave him this fucking flashlight, and my wife went to check on the boys to see if they were asleep. This motherfucker using that shit in the bed to play with his balls. So of course she freaked out. She comes in, you need to talk to your son. You need to talk to your son. And I'm like, what the fuck I'm gonna say to him? I'm looking at that shit ingenious idea. Maybe I need to try that shit. I got a flashlight on my goddamn phone. I'll try this shit right now in the bed with you. So I went to talk to him. I was like, hey man, why don't you do that shit in the shower like everybody else? Throw this shit for the rest of us, goddamn it. So then my wife said, nah, we'll take her to a child psychologist. This is what she said. Well, actually, what your son is doing is very normal, and you should allow him to continue to express himself. And eventually, the habit will decrease and decrease. Where was this bitch when I was a kid? If I remember correctly, in my house, masturbation was like a crime, and my grandfather was like the detective. If you was in the bathroom for more than 5 minutes, he'd come knocking on the door. What you doing in there, boy? You ain't in there pumping, is you? Well, I guess not now, Grandpa. And you take the Luster's pink oil and put it back on the goddamn shelf? Y'all know about the goddamn Luster's pink oil. Every fucking unit around the world. Yeah, I know about that shit. Some of y'all got that shit in your pocket right now. We get home from the child psychologist. We get home. I'm in the living room chilling. I look up, I see my son reaching up on top of the refrigerator. I'm like, what is he trying to get? And I see he done got a pack of Oreos. I'm like, boy, don't put your dicky hands on them goddamn cookies.